now we have touched a subject, space. See, this is a term, a word that people just say, oh, this is space, oh, there's space, we live in space. Universe manifests in space. Theosophists say that too. They say the universe expands in space, but there's much more. If you, dear scientists also, think that space is somewhat like a container and is filled by planets and solar systems and all that, you're completely wrong. Because if that would be so, you could also say, what is beyond that container? See, a 5-year-old could doubt and question such a theory that space is a container of something. And so we have to dive deeper into that term space. And when I talk about space, I talk also about para-Brahman. It is a divine principle, you could say, a supreme cause, a reality, an existence, absolute existence. But when we think of our earth, our plane of consciousness, of existence, then too we can say that earth is contained in space. But when we use that term in space, we have to be very, very cautious. See, and this is a doctrine that activates your para-mental brain centers. And therefore, don't be upset or shocked if your anatta, your body, may, in certain cases, rebel. Or your brain may say, I don't understand that. Doesn't matter. You will. We can say that there is a mental and physical representation on earth, on this plane of existence. See, because our senses are limited, they can only achieve other limited matter, and not that which is beyond. A master can see all, can be aware of all planes of existence. Space, dear friends, is a physical reality. Let's not get too far and say it is an illusion, Yes, the entire universe is an illusion, but as such it exists. And the Book of Light teaches space is physically real. But you can't perceive it, and it is not a subject to any perception. For instance, we perceive objects in space. And you see, we have to ponder on that a little bit in order to understand what is really meant by God. Because the Book of Light teaches there are 3 realities: space, all beings, and Mula Prakriti, root matter, For instance, there are other 3 aspects, but we take these 3 now. So space cannot be perceived. You know what that means. You can not perceive space as it to be like an object or the cause of anything that exists or an effect. You can just say it is. It is not existing as an object. This we have first to take in consideration. And we can also not say it doesn't exist any longer as an object. There is no limited space, but that is what we conceive. This is what human mind can get, caused by limited brain organs and matter and so forth. We say, well, space is limited, see, because I see from here to there, and I say there is space. Yeah, but what is beyond? I have to think about that. If in my limited sense I say this is space, okay, and there's a planet, and there's a planet, and they're contained in space, I can say that following a conclusion caused by my limited organs. Or I can say space contains something. I am contained in space. From that limited point of view, yes, but in the Book of Light we go further. We activate thoughts and brain centers in you that were maybe dormant. And now comes a seemingly contradiction, but it's just maybe a paradox. If you meditate and even stop thinking, you will achieve, by returning into your body, you will achieve more mental knowledge than any book could lead you to. This is why the Book of Light leads in meditation to non-thinking. Because thinking too is a limitation, but it leads you to that other shore, to the truth. And once you are there, you must drop. When you have a tool and you repair something, do you keep that tool in your hand? No. You put it aside. This is the great secret. Who may fathom it, or who can fathom it, may fathom it. So we can perceive anything in space by our limited senses. And in our conception, then, space is limited. Like a container, like a cup of tea is limited by its structure. But when you spread your manasrupa, your mental body, and you think further and further and further, what is with space? Even without the knowledge from the Book of Light, if you just say, okay, space is from here to there, your next logical question could be, what is beyond? How far can you go? So when you think this way, that something is from here to there, that's already wrong thinking. And you are caught into that trap. And this is why we say space is void and fullness. But it is no absolute fullness. When it is a void, it is an absolute void. And when it is fullness, it is conditioned fullness. And we will see what that has to do with a theory of science, which is called the red light theory, from whom science thinks that space has been filled. Not at all. We go one step further. We say space is just, or when the universe awakens and goes to sleep again, it's just a change of condition. A change of condition. So, space is neither absolutely full nor conditioned void, but vice versa. Space is void, absolutely void. And when it is at the same time a fullness that is conditioned. We have to become abstract when we start with the Book of Light, with the reawakening of the universe. Because the abstraction, or the abstract, with its numbers and so forth, is at the base of each law, cosmic law. And so we should not forget, and this is why in school it is so important for kids, yes, to learn mathematics, but not as boring as they do it now, but to see that mathematics is a base form of divinity. Dear friends, when I say space is infinite, I say it abstract as an abstraction. And it has not any qualities or attributes that you may conceive, because you cannot with your limited organs of perception. When you are the monad, detached from anything, from any desire and trishna, then you will be that. Not before. And you can be that now if you walk that path with God and are aware of the fact that true immortality, dear friends, this is what we aim for. We don't do that just here to entertain you. We want to make you aware of your immortality. How can I become immortal? Very simple. Like all great teachings are simple. You become immortal when you detach yourself from the attachment to all mortal, transient, perishable things. And so just religion stops short before the truth, because they think in heaven everything is imperishable. In heaven, all structures remain. No, even there, all the heavens shall be rolled in like a scroll. See, and this is where the Book of Light goes directly to the core, to nirvana, from where everything reawakens again, on that state of being. It's a mystery. And if you are satisfied with an allegedly eternal heaven, where you fly around as an angel always and always happy, then you may do so. And if that is enough for you, don't continue listening to me. But I tell you, even the highest heavens, we call them devachan, are transient illusions, no matter how long they may last. And here we aim directly to immortality. And when you ask what is immortal, you can say, that which has no beginning and no end, that is eternal. What is immortal? That which is never born and it can never die. Does it mean it is not? It's just not born. People say, oh, I'm so happy I'm alive. You are not alive. You are from your birth on in a dying process. Are you aware of that? When you are born, you begin to die. Slowly, slowly, slowly. You arise and pass away. If there would not be a state of being beyond that, I would not continue talking here. I would present to you the universe as it is on all levels, visible, invisible. But we aim further, dear friend. It is my work, or the order from the Mahachohan, to really make you immortal, make you aware of your immortality, which is not in any hell, earth, or heaven, but beyond the world of appearances, beyond that which is arising and passing away, is the true, immortal, timeless, uncreated, anupapadaka, parentless. Whom can fathom it, may fathom it. And this is why we have to dive deep into these terms, into these problems. Otherwise we use the terms space. Oh, well, there's space. No. There's much more to it. Now, I said that when space is full, in quotation marks, it is conditioned. That conditioned state is sevenfold in manifestation, which ranges from undifferentiated to differentiated degree of substance of what? Mula prakriti, root matter. And then you could say it's fullness of space, but it's conditioned. This fullness of space is a conditioned fullness. Space in itself is absolute, and yet you can say space is both absolute void, and conditioned fullness. And these parting or splitting of space into degrees, into 7, into 10, into 12, and so forth, that is done by the supermonad. And the first divine light awakens out of pralaya, of cosmic sleep, about 150 trillion years ago. See, I'm German, we say billion because when we Germans, after million, we have the number Milliarden. And you say to Milliarden already billion. Then after Milliarden we have Billionen, which sounds like billion, but it's not your billion. Yeah, everything is different according to circumstance and surrounding and state of awareness. So 150 trillion years ago, the supermonad awakened out of its state of pralaya, of rest, into manifestation, parting mula prakriti or root matter into levels. Why? Because as Jesus said, in my Father's house are many mansions. It's prepared for you. See, in these levels, we will learn then, are necessary for the solar systems and the suns and the galaxies and so forth and all beings, all monads,